are supposed to, as you are going to read what you have accumulated, why not that you are allowed now? Pay that tax so that the government will use that money and do what? And do the needful and stop problem for the power, stop problem for people that cannot be told. Why are you accumulating? Accumulating like for who? Eh?
All right then.
Vanity or for vanity? I'm a prefer.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor. So where do we go from here? It was Governor Makinde I saw, who was addressing the public on this whole matter, and he was speaking about the need for all parties to to understand this better, perhaps contribute more to it, so that everybody would be on board. That was quite worrying because it does give the impression that this kind of an important action was taken without the full understanding and buy-in of such a body as the National Economic Council.
I think that's where the problem. I think there should have been a presentation to the National Economic Council because you call it National Economic Council. Mm-hmm. But again, you have to ask yourself, is the National Economic Council constitutional? Is it constitutional? Is it a separation? This is called the separation of government.
Yes, it goes back to what you were saying, that it's because we're not practicing the real, genuine form of democracy.
Because that's an administrative, that's what we call executive arm of government. This is their bill. So you don't have to be going to meet the state governors or the meeting to say, okay, this is what we want to do. Because the National Economic Council, we must have what role do they play? It's just a nomenclature that was created. Yes. It's not that it's
creation of convenience.
Yes.
And also maybe
it's not in the constitution. So
everybody on board.
The government have come up with a policy document. You are not in support of that policy document. You have taken it to the National Assembly. So that's what I'm saying. Ordinarily, the National Assembly should open it for public debate first, get people to say this and that. Maybe do some of those corrections that people ask them to do, and take it to the president. The president might say, no, I don't agree with some of this correction. Then that is when the dialogue should start. So not just that the bill is there, it has not been debated, it has not been, so yet you are saying the bill should be withdrawn.
Instigation from,
so I don't think, because it's politics we are playing now.
Okay,
it shows.
Let me bring in, good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning to Mukhtar.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uncle Yeri, I've been trying to lay hands on the draft of that bill. I haven't seen it to see exactly what the details are. But one thing is certain. The governors and the traditional leaders who are asking that the bill should be withdrawn are doing it for the sake of the VAT. The details of the VAT that somebody who saw the bill has explained to me is that you manufacture a certain good in one location. The VAT that comes from that product is at where the product is consumed or where the service is mostly patronized. It's a case of what in our local parlance we call monkeying the work, baboon the chop. If I am the one consuming your goods, the place where the consumption is done, logically, should be the one to take the tax that accrues from it. That's why it's called value-added tax. Where value is added to the product or the service. The fact that you are the one that produced a beer doesn't make the drinker to be less important than you that manufactured it. Where the beer is consumed, the person that provided environment for the consumption of the beer in a large scale should be the one to take that value-added tax. After all, the manufacturer has already taken his profit from the cost of selling it to customers. I don't see the need for controversy about this thing. We're generally not the people that want to pay tax. There are some countries, even the UK, about 75% of the government income comes from tax. You don't pay tax in any way. The system is such that it's so tight that you cannot earn anything without paying tax. because we are not used to that here, tax payment is not in our blood. That is what we are saying. Indeed. I don't expect a man that was elected as a governor to behave the way our governors are doing. Are they saying that the money that they are collecting from the federal government should just be done rigidly in their own favor? That's show of laziness. How can one person be working hard to make money and then you want to sit down to just be consuming it without making any? I think the policy, in my view, is very right. It will encourage people to become more industrious, to work hard for what they earn. I think that is the only way we can talk about development. The president should not withdraw the bill.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Yes, you wanted to say something.
I don't think the president will not drop the bill the way it is. Because when the governors gang up, you know how powerful the Nigerian Government Forum is. But I think that there's a case in court on this value-added tax. I think was instituted by the Rivers State government then with Wilson Wike. And I think it was gone as far as the Supreme Court. But I think they were looking for a political solution to it. So sometimes you do some things and then the challenges comes up. And if Supreme Court has given judgment on this before now, we won't be having these issues that we are having now. So I still think there's more room for dialogue. Like Mr. George said. But again, I still feel that dialogue should have been done in the National Assembly.
All of these things.
The dialogue should be done before, and if you have not, that dialogue was not done, there's an opportunity. It's going to be an open document. And I keep saying you have representative. The 19 northern state governors have their representative in the House of Assembly and in the Senate.
Okay.
So they should have been talking to them and saying, look, we need you to step down this bill, via this item. So you bring it to a public debate. Then we are able to come to a government situation whereby you say, okay, you step it down. Then the governors themselves will not still be the one to go to Mr. President. Will now have a committee from the Nigerian Governors Forum for the traditional rulers. Will now meet with the Tax Reform Committee. And all this will just be going on and on with taxpayers' money, resources being wasted in so-called committee. Okay. And at the end of the day, they'll produce a white paper that will go to the Federal Executive Council. The Federal Executive Council will now pass it to the National Assembly. The National Assembly will now see it and now put a date for public. Look.
Okay, let's take a break. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. We'll continue taking your calls and talking with Mukhtar Mohammed in studio here. We'll be right back.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow.
Okay, then, thank you very much for staying with us and indeed for joining us if you've just arrived. We're looking at the tax reform bill fast becoming a controversy. The tax whole reform exercise was all about ironing out some inequities that are in there. Some people go a bit stronger and say, never mind inequities, injustices is the word if you're just going to, slam it down there. But as we said, it's a conversation that is ongoing And in the meantime, Reverend Dominic, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to Mohammed.
Indeed.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
I've tried to lay hands on this document, just like George said.
Yes.
I've not marked this document. I've read some articles on Punch about this tax issue. But there's something I want to say here. If you can tie what we discussed yesterday to a member of National Assembly in your studio, defending and not through the image of the speaker, I ask you a question. How much do you have time hall with your people? Just like what you're saying. If National Assembly is working, let me use that word. Permit me to use the word. If our parliament is working, there's no need for governors forum to fight any bill that comes to National Assembly. If the parliament is working, because there's the argument that the debate, if the layman will understand the subject, that the debate in parliament. But like Mohammed has said, anything that goes to parliament today, in name of cooperation, pass whether yes or no, the passage one way. I can say it in 2003, I'm with the National Assembly when we're having the debate of freedom of information, bill. They refused me to enter because they come either from Amnesty International or from any DPA. I came as an individual. I told them I'm a Nigerian. The big concern me is I will never enter to that platform where we debate about a freedom of information bill. And that's the fear of everybody. If we allow it to go to Parliament, we will know what they will say. And nobody makes input to our representative. It's an indictment to our Parliament because it's not working. That's my thing. Just say something here. Why should I drink beer, Yori? I will drink beer. Pay value as a tax to beer. Mohammed doesn't drink beer in the studio. But the fact that I drink beer, if I think in drinking beer, would drink to Mohammed who doesn't drink beer. Where do they happen in anywhere in the world? And there's the issue here. Any bill that not favor our brothers from the north, nobody will pass the National Assembly. There are 19. We are less than 19 here. And that is the concept of governing Nigeria. When Ashwati wants to govern this nation, we are telling him by what he did in Lagos. I have my different issue. In Lagos here, we're educated. We understand what is common good. But in Nigeria, what is common good is not what common good. What is common good to the south, but not common good to the north. And that's the complexity of governing Nigeria. Why should we harmonize that? What is wrong in harmonizing that? What is wrong that but do the work? Monkey the chop. What is wrong about that? This issue, the parliament is not working. The parliament is not working. Any day our parliament begins to work, it will work for everybody. Both the presidency for common man. But as long as the parliament is not working, and without working, we'll be going forth and back because people sent to represent us are not representing us.
All right then. Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, for calling in. It's clearly a situation where we're not really being logical, looking at this whole thing logically, empirically. It looks like we're looking for a political solution. In other words, let things just remain the way they are.
Yes,
let them just remain the way they are. This one is going to be against us. We object to you doing anything to sort of sort it out. And the point is made. Reverend Dominic has just finished concerning VAT, even though there's more than the VAT in there. Concerning VAT, take other things that are forbidden in certain cultures and religious societies. Betting, for instance, television broadcasts go to a certain area. They have a way of blanking out.
And the betting now is going to be taxed heavily. So that means the areas that have betting will be making the money. So there's a lot of things in this tax reform committee that they would have increased the fee on betting. Then people should be, it should be a thing, if you are religious, like they attempt to rebel, they should be happy about it. So maybe with the increment, they will reduce the number of people that want to bet. So there's a lot of things in that reform committee, but I think what they are looking at, like a lot of people say they've not seen that document. Yes, I think that also that's where I always have my problem with committees and Nigeria, because such documents should be document for public view before even submission to the National Assembly. People should know what they're submitting to the National Assembly. They should be able to go for a public debate. Every Nigerian that wants to be part of it should be able to go there for part of it.
Do you think that mistake was made, that is the point you're making, that this bill wasn't in the public space
It's still not in the public space.
It still isn't. And
so that is why there's a lot of, you see, later on you realize that there's a lot of misinformation as regards the bill, because the bill is not in the public space.
The presidential spokesman said.
Because if you bring in the bill in the public place, then people will be able to see it. There will not be this information that we are seeing. So I think the government on their own part too have not done well. I say this is the best committee, but I think in this area they have not done well. They should have made this document public. They should have been a public. You are changing the parastatal like the Federal Inland Revenue to Nigerian Revenue Service. You need to open it for public debate, because that means we are going to go to the Constitution. I'm not a lawyer, but I thought if you have to change something, it may mean that it has to go through the state assemblies to give you.
Everybody has to be involved. Especially these are representatives. Good morning, Mr. Joshua in Irewolide.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning to your guests.
Yes.
I think whether we are talking from tax or any other reform issues, the common ground now should be for everyone to focus on building a nation. You see, we Nigerians are suffering over this back and forth, and the people that are holding us back are not participating in the suffering. Whether it is governors, where is a group of northern governors and even traditional rulers now. These people are not suffering. Nigerians are suffering. So I am at this point looking at something like a tax reform that is tied to productivity. The major problem in Nigeria is that there is no productivity, and nobody has an excuse to wish that out. There's no productivity. Whichever governor anywhere, whether you are in the north, south, or east, you have no reason to excuse away productivity. That is what is holding down Nigeria. So this tax reform, the little I have seen about it, is to stimulate productivity. I know there could be areas here and there where they might need to tinker or change one or two things, which your guests have fully analyzed. But let everyone here begin to align with one thing. We need to build a nation that is moving forward on productivity. I will add one thing that is an unpopular opinion. I would say concerning tax, I would want to ask Nigeria and the nation at large, why are churches not being taxed? I mean, religious organizations, not necessarily churches. Why are they not being taxed? Because presently they are being registered as private organizations. Most of these churches are profit-making. They have left their charitable this thing, whatever, and they have huge money. Why are they not being taxed? Why are we still excusing away that area in this time of? I just recently a religious man was said to have been overnighted to build a private airstrip or whatever. So he doesn't need to use a helicopter to go to a common airport. He now has an airport for himself, and he's not paying tax. Come on.
Yeah.
This country should look forward and do well.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much.
I think we need to clear that notion.
Yeah.
The church itself, as an entity, doesn't pay tax. But individuals that work in those churches pay tax.
The church, which is the PLC,
the charitable organization.
It's not called the PLC, but the church that is the master generator.
He is the one. What he does is that the church pays. You have to pay salaries. The salaries that they pay to the workers, those workers are taxed.
That's it.
Then even this.
How about all the universities they're coming up with? How about all the businesses that they create?
Those businesses that create are being taxed. I can tell you authoritatively.
So publishing companies,
they are taxed.
Whatever.
They are taxed. So once anything that brings income, they are taxed. It's only left for the regulators. Now that's the area of regulation. It's not in the place of. Look, let me tell you something, Uncle Yori. In every part of the world, nobody wants to pay tax.
Nobody.
That's the truth.
Let's face it.
Let's face it. Whether in Nigeria, whether in the UK, But because you know the penalty associated is if you are caught not paying tax.
Look how serious it is in the US, for example.
So you will go to jail and you will pay all those taxes.
You will.
So those are why they pay taxes.
But we don't do that kind of
here
thing
in Nigeria,
we don't do
because
that kind of thing.
it's not the ordinary man, like what the caller said. It's the elites that don't pay taxes.
Yes, and
it's not, and the elites are the place that govern this tax reform place. They have been employed by they were appointed by the elites. So once people come to, if the man of God that is going to build an airstrip is not going to be free. He's playing the helicopter and whatever that will be parked there will still pay fee to government. So let's stop being so emotional about these things.
About the religious
aspect, because some of these religious leaders, if you go, they won't tell you, but privately they are classified as high net investors. They are high net earners. Because the kind of money they pay to government as tax also, they pay.
Okay.
So all their publishing arm, anything that is business, is supposed to pay taxes.
And all how about all the university, because they have assets.
Educational establishments are not to pay taxes. That's why when you pay your school fees, if you are paying school fees for a private school, they do not tax you.
Okay. Otumba Debo in Abeokuta, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning again.
Thank you for calling. Good morning.
What I want to say is that I want to suggest to the president that he should let each state collect the VAT at their state and remit 10% of whatever to federal government. And that will ginger all the states to act more, to have taxes in their state where they can collect VAT. And not is afraid because most of the VAT are collected in the south. And you don't even want tobacco and alcohol in your area. As you are getting the VAT. So let each state collect their own VAT and remit 10% or whatever percentage.
I don't think they have an issue with tobacco, just alcohol.
Yes, alcohol. Don't let everybody.
And gambling. Alcohol and gambling.
Gambling. I got in the VAT. Let each state collect their VAT and remit 10% whatever percentage to federal.
Okay.
That will ginger each state to
Okay. As opposed to.
I think that's what they have said about the case between the Rivers State government. I think whether Lagos State joined them. I think so. In that case, there's a judgment that was supposed to be delivered by the Supreme Court, but I think maybe they are looking for a political solution to it. Because then I remember the Rivers State governor then we saying, I will collect the tax and I will remit to the federal government the value of the tax I am supposed to collect. And I think Lagos State now joined in that suit and said, yes, they think that's the right way to go.
These are the two of the mainly disadvantaged states are going by the status quo.
Yeah.
And what the North is saying effectively is that let the status quo remain where it is. Don't go touching that. What you are saying is that, look, if the northern states, 19 northern states, were to see it differently, then they have so much capacity that they have not brought to bear. Simply because they know that they will get a paycheck.
They have.
They will get a paycheck.
Do you know what it means? Look at the northern states. If they said, okay, they want to tax food item alone, that means the cost of food item in Lagos will be very expensive. But the VAT will go to the northern state because most of those food are coming from there.
Yes.
So you have you have a lot of ways that you can do these issues. But I think everybody is used to, let me borrow the word of Ikeru Madu, the former deputy senator, and say feeding bottle federalism, where everybody just go to the federal side and you just collect the money.
Yes.
We got the commissioners of finance. They are waiting for the monthly allocation meeting in Abuja. They fly to Abuja. They sit down there. They argue over it. How much they have to collect. How much is supposed to be. How much NNPC did not remit. How much the inland revenue did not remit to them. How much, So I think we need to look inwardly. You see, the challenge with Nigeria is that we talk about restructuring so much. And I keep telling people
emphasis on
that it's all about political restructuring. When you hear the politicians talking about restructuring, They are talking about the political restructuring. They need to get power. That's why you see in the National Assembly, somebody is sponsoring to have another state of Ogun State, Ijebu State. So nobody is looking at the main thing that affect the order in Nigeria, which is economic restructuring. How do we restructure our economy? And that's what Mr. President is trying to do. He said, look, let's restructure our economy. Let's restructure it. But no, because we are not used to economic restructuring. We're only used to political restructuring. That's why we continue to have these issues that we are having.
Okay. Mr. Sunny Adenuga in the UK. Good morning to you, sir. Sunny?
Yeah, to guest. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. I think I want to talk about the lack of visibility in the public domain regarding bills that are sent to the National Assembly.
Yeah.
And this is concerning because I know it's not in the remit of the executive, it's the legislators. And I know what I'm going to say now. They're going to give excuse and say, oh, they have a website. It doesn't function. And it's not fair on the people.
Oh, okay. Sunny Adenuga in the UK, the chairman of Boot Party here in Nigeria, he was just observing that the government is a bit thin on communication. This is what, in a different context, even the president himself had noted. It doesn't matter. I don't know. This whole question about winking in the dark. No. You got to communicate.
The open door.
What is going on? That kind of a thing. So, but we lost Sunny Adenuga in there, and he said that for those who might say that, look, this is a modern age. We have websites, implying that perhaps this information is on website. But then again,
the Tax Reform Committee.
Many of us know that government websites don't work.
The Tax Reform Committee is even supposed to have a website.
Yeah.
The document, everybody that is calling and say, we have not seen this document.
They don't work.
So we need to put all those documents there. If your final draft that is a draft and it's open for debate.
The presidency might as well hear it. A lot of the government websites and portals simply do not work. Take something
as
crucial as NIMC. If you actually downloaded the app and tried to use it, you just be hearing, sorry about that, do not be alarmed.
Oh, that one is even when you go to their office, they tell you that the website is down. They are experiencing downtime. And even sometimes when you go to the website and you complain, you go to the office and they say, oh, it's downtime. They are always downtime.
So how serious are we? Banks in Nigeria, they have their website.
They have downtime.
They do.
But it works.
But it works.
Let me tell you, Uncle Yori, if you pass the national identity card or the NIN to a private sector hand today, you will see that those websites will be working.
They will be. Mr. Sunny Adenuga is back up with us. Thank you very much for coming back in. Go ahead, Sonny.
I think my line went off there.
Yes.
My line went off there. And what I was doing, I'm going to give you an example. During the Electoral Act, I'm going to give you this. And I have evidence about what I'm going to say here. You will not believe that even political parties were not in the loop of the bill. It was hidden. I personally made a lot of effort to be able to see the bill. Can you just imagine the bill about an electoral act of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was hidden even from the main actors.
Yeah.
Until the bill became an act. That was when we were able to access it even through INEC. I took a screenshot of what was available on the National Assembly website. The bills were not there. And this is the issue. When the society feels like some group of people are somewhere who are acting in an untransparent way about their life, about their future, these are some of the things that get people so upset and mad.
Yeah.
I know people have said, oh, but when the bills, I've had comments about some law being passed, and people make comments like, oh, but the bills, when they were being discussed in the National Assembly, I beg your pardon, most bills are not in the public views before they become an act. And this is just not acceptable in any constitutional democracy.
Okay, Sonny, we've got to leave it there.
And the people that matter, they can push
Okay, thank you very much, Sonny. That point is very well taken. You begin to wonder is it because, perish the thought. Is it because some mischief is intended that these things are not brought out? As I said, perish the thought. It can't be that. Yeah. But can it also be that we're so slack that we don't know how to do
we
the right
keep saying this thing. It's all about structures. It's all about good governance. It's just like when you talk about corporate governance. So in any establishment, I think we have an agency, I think Service Co. I can't remember their name, that was supposed to make sure that they make sure government policies are made known public. Somebody I'm sure you're a journalist. If I ask you, were you able to get the Freedom of Information Bill at that time? I'm sure it was very difficult to get it.
It certainly was.
So
not until, as Sonny was saying, after it became...
So I think that's why I think with the advent of social media, digital information should easily be transmitted to everybody to see before passing to law. And I think this will stop. You know what, if you have a strong man that comes in and believe in those policies, you see it will work. But when he goes, so that's why we are talking about making sure we have strong institutions that are able to run. Those institutions are the ones that dictate the pay. If Service Com is really an institution that is working in government, he would have insisted that, look, some of this policy that you have to make it to public domain before it even gets to the National Assembly. So I think we have, like I keep saying, Nigeria is not devoid of document, but we don't implement and we don't follow up. And when you try to follow up, like he was saying, you become an enemy of the government.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, Mukhtar. Thank you very much. Clearly, a lot of work still needs to be done in terms of the objective of the administration, because the president has expressed this repeatedly. But then all the other arms of government need to, really come on board. It's not just about the president alone and all of that. There's a whole team in there. Most of them, most of the team is not as effective as it could have been.
No.
Yes, and the president... look at, we've just come through the sacking of ministers.
And then I don't think it's enough. I thought more of them should have gone.
Maybe there will be a phase 2. Maybe. Thank you very much, Mukhtar Mohammed, stockbroker, CEO, Finance with Mukhtar. We're going to have to leave it here for now, but this subject is not going to go away, and I dare say we'll be looking at it a bit more on, our slew of programs. But as I said, we'll have to leave it here today. Do join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Do have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Mukhtar, for coming on.
My pleasure, always.
The following is a paid presentation by Shopex TV. At Shopex TV, our customers are the heart of everything we do. As a special thank you for your continued support, we are offering our customers 10% off on selected products from now till November 15th. That's right, shop now and save big on some of your favorite items while stock lasts. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grab amazing products at unbelievable prices. First is our amazing 4-in-1 CookX blender. It's a food processor, a grinder, a blender, and a juicer all in one. The CookX 4-in-1 blender comes with 3 versatile cup sizes, each crafted to handle special tasks perfectly. Imagine effortlessly whipping up smoothies that are truly smooth, pounded yam and soups that are flawlessly pounded and blended. You would normally pay 189,950 Naira for the CookX 4-in-1 blender, but call the number on your screen right now or scan the QR code and get it for just 170,995 Naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the CookX 4-in-1 blender in 2 easy payments of 85,498 Naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing cooking solution. And we are not done yet. Shopex TV is proud to introduce the Shopex Ultimate Crunch Exercise Machine. The 6-in-1 machine is designed to take your fitness to the next level. No need to worry about expensive gym fees. You can now work out from the comfort of your home and achieve results. With Ultimate Crunch cutting-edge technology, you can transform your body. Its enhanced features deliver a full body workout that's efficient, effective, and enjoyable. The secret is its advanced design that combines multiple exercise models into one unit. The versatile machine features adjustable resistance levels, an ergonomic design, and a built-in digital tracking system that displays speed, time, distance, and calories burned. From sculpting your abs to toning your legs, upper body, and strengthening your core, you would normally pay up to 449,950 naira for the Shopex Ultimate Crunch, but for a limited time only, call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code and get the Shopex Ultimate Crunch at 404,955 naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the Shopex Ultimate Total Crunch in 2 easy payments of 202,478 naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing fitness solution. But hurry, limited stocks available. So call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by Shopex TV.
Is my fatherland. God bless Akwa.
We will invite all Akwa Ibomites to arise to the faith of greatness with our Rise agenda.
The sun is rising, the land is peaceful. It's so amazing that I can see.
TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to journalists' hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other